Okay, so let's now talk a little bit more about transitions versus transformations. What exactly are each one of them? What is a transition versus a transformation? And let's see if we could do more with our website, enhance our website, and make it pop even a little bit more. So let's go over here to our CSS, our code that we have to look at. And let's look at a transition versus a transformation, right? So we know in a transition we set up that transition properly, and we set that up for our section 1. We have a transition on that. But when it comes to section 2, that middle section, we already have it kind of set up. We have a background color of gold, as you might remember. There's a background color of gold here. There's wording that's in black and that type of thing. So let's see what else we can apply to this. Font size is 1.2 EM. So in order, we've also done is say, so when we hover, when the mouse is hovering over this, let's do a couple things. Let's transform this. And when you think about transform, you're actually moving something. Think about moving something. Scaling an element, making it rotate or turn a certain way. You can turn it or rotate it a certain amount of times or a certain way, if you will, a certain way. And so transforming is actually moving, where transition is actually kind of gradually going from one value to another, picking a property and taking its value and changing it from one value to another gradually. Transformation is actually moving something. So right here I'm saying on hovering over section 2, go ahead and transform it by rotating on the y-axis 360 degrees, almost making it look like it's flipping around, and do that over duration. And once again, you would say transition/duration. That helps apply to this transform as well. Transition duration, apply that to be for 5 seconds. So let's do that on hovering. So let's see what that looks like as we go here and we apply it and look. So if I go here, you could notice that as I hover over the middle section, it rotates 360 degrees along its y-axis. So let's say this was something on your website where you had a sale or something and you wanted to draw somebody's attention to. If you wanted this kind of effect, you could do this, or you could do something else, but this would be a transformation of an element. And right back here, if we look at our transition, which we did earlier, you transition in an earlier video, it allows you to go gradually from one value to another, gradually from one value to another. So that's what a transition does for you. And a transformation will move that element in some way, allow you to apply movement to it. And I can do this over the y-axis, as you see, and I can also do this, I'll change it to be over the x-axis. As I change that, this is actually a method or a function that you see that you might see referred to, similar to what you might hear like in another programming language or something like that. This is a method or a function that you're calling, and you're setting the information, the parameters here. You're putting information here. So I'm going to rotate this over the x-axis instead of the y-axis, and let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and save that and go back here, refresh and let's see what it looks like now that we refresh the document. So now it'll go kind of up and down, rotating over the x-axis as opposed to the y-axis. And that's kind of how you can apply a transformation versus doing something like a transition. And I'm going to go ahead and just change that back because I like the y-axis one. And try to settle and play around with it. Try to figure out ways you can set up maybe a simple box and apply a transformation, a transforming around the rotating around the y-axis or whatever you want that duration to be. And go ahead and play around with that. And you can see maybe some little techniques that you can apply with transformations versus doing some transitions, as you might do on your website. Some type of transition versus transformation. So thank you for watching. We're going to do more with CSS. Thank you for watching, and please join in for our next video.